Tennis Opportunity Program. Real people, real stories, real opportunity. My name is Julius Dixon, and this is my story. I've loved tennis since I was a little kid. I'm 16 years old now, but when I was younger, I had no idea that this sport would change my life. I had no idea I would ride my racket from Chicago to the Hotchkiss boarding school in Connecticut on a full academic scholarship. The scholarship is valued at over $40,000 a year, and that's a lot of cash. That's my 13-year-old brother Jeremy. He's also on top. He's a pretty good player, but don't tell him I told you that. This is the Midtown Tennis Club in Lincoln Park. Top has helped me take lessons here since I was 12. Midtown is more than just a tennis club. It's like a second home. I do more than practice tennis at Midtown. Top also provides academic tutoring. Henrietta West is the executive director of Top. She's a former Chicago Public Schools teacher and says that it's just as important to hit the books as to hit the ball. Jeremy and I will always remember where we came from, the west side of Chicago by Oak Park. We grew up in this neighborhood with our mom Sandra. Jeremy and I spent a lot of time walking to Taylor Park with our rackets. I'll miss that when I'm at Hotchkiss. This is Taylor Park. These are my home courts. I grew up playing here. I know I'll miss Chicago. I'll miss my mom, I'll miss my dad, I'll even miss Jeremy. I know I'm doing the right thing. This opportunity at Hotchkiss is once in a lifetime. I'm going to make the most of it.
My name is Darnisha and I'm from Chicago. And in May of 2012, my mom told me that she would be moving to Texas. And I wasn't staying with her at the time, I was still with my grandma, so I didn't think the move applied to me. But it did. So one day at 2 o'clock in the morning, my mom popped up at my grandma's house. I felt someone standing over me, and then she was tapping me saying, "Let's go." And when I look up, I saw her and 2 police officers behind her. So I tried to get in my grandma's room, but that didn't work. And so the police forced me, to get in a car with her because her friend was the one who convinced her to move to Texas. So we were staying with her friend for about maybe 2 weeks. And I guess she got kind of fed up with my family. It was me and my little sister who's 8 at the time. So one day my mom told me to pack my stuff, and I didn't really have anything but my bag, and she dropped us off at a shelter in Dallas. The week of school, she came to Mesquite. We got on the DART bus and the train and everything. We came to Mesquite, and she kind of talked to the people at the homeless unit, and they helped me and my little sister get enrolled in Mesquite.
I met her in August briefly when she came to enroll. Didn't really understand, didn't really have any idea about her situation at all. Really interesting because, when someone new comes and they're from Chicago and they check the box on the page that says homeless, basically, you do kind of your standard things. Oh, does she have a backpack? We can, fill out the form to get her some standard dress clothes because she didn't have any of those.
When I first met Darnisha was at the very beginning of the year, and she was enrolling in school, and they called me down and said, "We think we might have a tennis player for you. Do you want to come down and see?" And so when I went down, and it was funny because with a lot of the tennis players, I can tell their technique, and I just asked her, "Can you show me your serving motion?" And she took her motion and she made it in a complete circle, and it's like, wow, we got a player.
Coach Howick, when I first met her, I felt comfortable, just telling her what had just happened.
She never complained about any of that. No matter how hard of a change it was for when she came here, she still was such a positive young lady.
Mr. Rashid, he's one of the best, he's the best teacher I've ever had, my favorite teacher, because I get a lot out of his class, and not just math, but just life skills, out of his class.
One morning I came in and she was by the door having a breakfast. I said, "What are you doing over here so early in the morning?" She said, "Well, I'm waiting for you. I need, I said, "Okay, you're coming for tutoring?" She said, "Yeah." So we ate breakfast and we start talking, and immediately she opened up to me. She said, "I'm from Chicago, I just moved over here." And really, I mean, me from Lebanon, away from my country, away from that, I could exactly feel, you know, and what she was, where she's coming from and all that. I talked to her and I said, Darnisha, what are you gonna do in the future? I know you're gonna be successful, but what are you gonna do? The first thing came out of her mouth, she said, I wanna change my life. And I think with that determination in her, she will change her life.
And then just to see her go from, you know, the girl from Chicago who didn't really know about Mesquite High and anything like that, to this girl who's now graduating early with a full ride scholarship is just amazing.